So the big Glacier View conference was in the summer of 1980, and after it, my parents and I moved out of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I was 14 years of age. We moved to Auburn, California. My father started his own non-denominational evangelical Christian foundation, Good News Unlimited. I started ninth grade at Forest Lake Christian School. My first semester I had a 1.2 GPA. I failed 2 classes, Spanish and algebra. I was a mess. Eventually I transferred to Placer High School in 10th grade. It's a public school. First time in my life I'd been to public school. It was much easier. No longer failed classes. Though I did get a D in geometry. Anyway, I want to talk about the summer of 1982 because that was my summer of love. It was the summer that I first fell in love and had a girl who reciprocated, and her nickname was Action Jackson. My best friend at the time, Andy, gave her the name Action Jackson. He nicknamed me Hans Ford. He was very friendly with my hands. And I was working that summer in a camp, Seventh-day Adventist camp for elementary school kids, and Action Jackson was working in the janitorial department. And we used to spend a lot of afternoons at the PUC swimming pool. We'd put suntan lotion on each other and we'd just kind of lie there close, and sometimes I'd put my arm around her. We'd frolic in the pool. And it was all very innocent. We never went further than kissing. So that's the way it went. So Action Jackson. So Action Jackson was not a theologian, and she was not a theologically complex girl. Like me, she was more into deed than creed. And it took me a few years after Action Jackson before I was able to find a religion that was similarly interested in deed over creed. I never thought in terms of deed or creed really in these years. It wasn't until I started studying Judaism and realized that its primary emphasis was on action. And that the Christianity in which I was raised, primary emphasis was on faith or belief. So the biggest difference between Judaism and Christianity is Jesus of Nazareth the Messiah and the Son of God, but is action more important than faith? Are beliefs more important than deeds? Is creed more important than deeds? So I find Judaism is kind of like Action Jackson. It's not so much a systematic theology. It's not so much a code of thought as a code of behavior. Though certainly there are things that you should believe, the 13 essential principles of the Jewish faith according to Maimonides. Though Judaism was 3,000 years old before it developed its first creed. See, I'm a physical being. I need physical expression for my feelings for God. I need to hold that love in my arms, like the Torah scroll, to kiss the Torah scroll, to wrap the tefillin around my arms, to wear a yarmulke, wear my tallit katan, and to light candles and to do things with my body, because I'm not just a spiritual being, I'm also a physical being and a mental being. And the thing about Judaism that I love, and Alexander Technique for that matter, is that it involves my whole being, my thinking, my feeling, and my body.